You know, it just seems like it was not too long ago that he broke the record, and what was that? Less than 3,000, right? What was it?
29.70.
Yeah. So he just keeps going the way he keeps himself in shape and condition, in rhythm. He's gonna make another 1,000 for sure. I mean, that's what I would guess, but who knows?
Happy 37th birthday to Steph. At his current season and career and pace, Steph Curry could reach 5,000 made threes by 2028, his age 39 season. As for his spot atop the all-time leaderboard, there's little reason for concern. Second place, James Harden is still more than 800 threes behind him. Joey Joe in the house. How we feeling, big time?
Rosenberg out, Fortenbaugh in, fresh blood, new sparring partner. I hope these two are hydrated because it's a Friday and they're looking like they might be ripe for an upset here.
I doubt it. But good try. Good try.
Host Steve Curry open. Another milestone for the chef. Steph Curry hits 4,000 career three. He recalls Curry breaking the all-time record at 2,974. Less than 3 years ago. He keeps himself in shape and rhythm. He'll make another 1,000 for sure, Curran predicts. At 37, Curry could reach 5,000 by his age 39 season in 2028, with James Harden trailing by over 800. Curry's current pace, 3.9 threes per game, and conditioning suggests it's possible, though age and health loom as variables.
I think so, but I think it depends on a couple of conditions. Obviously, his health. That has to stay in play, because health is everything. And his endurance, his conditioning, all of that comes with it, because his movement without the basketball is what is never mentioned nearly as much as it should. He is a nightmare to cover. He is the only person in NBA history, which is why I call him the greatest shooter God has ever created. He is the only player in NBA history that you literally have to man up on the second he steps past half court, because he can pull up from 40. It's who he is. I mean, he's that great. And so when we look at it from that standpoint, I say, okay, it took you 3 seasons to get from 3,000 to 4,000. Okay, let's say it's going to take you that much now. He just turned 37 today. Happy birthday. Today is his birthday, his 37th birthday. And so you look at it from that standpoint, he'd have to get to 40. Can he continue to move like that over the next 3 years? Can he continue to run around like that over the next 3 years?
Analyst Stephen A. Smith joins, asserting he can reach 5,000, but it depends on health and endurance. He emphasizes Curry's off-ball movement. He's a nightmare to cover, the only player you must guard past half-court because he can pull up from 40. Smith calls him the greatest shooter God ever created, citing 4 championships and 2 MVPs. He took 3 seasons to go from 3,000 to 4,000. Can he keep moving like that until 40? Curry's impact on the game's evolution places him in the GOAT conversation, though health remains the linchpin.
But in terms of his ability to make shots, I have no doubt about that. He's the greatest shooter God ever created. He is just that spectacular. And that's what I say about him. He's a 4-time champion. He's a 2-time league MVP. I think we've only got 7 dudes in NBA history that have pulled that off. And he's definitely in the GOAT conversation, as Shaq alluded to. It's not to say that he is, because there's Jordan and others. But the bottom line is, when you talk about the greatest, considering how he has transformed the game of basketball, the impact that he's had, his name should definitely be mentioned in the conversation. I tell you, he could do it. He just has to last, meaning his condition and being in shape to do it. That's where I'm at with it.
Host Joey Joe questions the feasibility. At 3.9 threes per game, he'd hit 5,000 by age 39 if he plays 82 games yearly. Playing 70 games, a healthy number, extends it to his age 40 season. Maintaining that pace late in his career, with injury risks and family priorities, is tough. Joe argued, I'd bet the under too much has to go right. Curry's golf passion and accolades, 4 titles, finals MVP, might tempt an early exit, though his competitive drive could push him to 5,000.
I root yes. If I'm betting, I bet no. The numbers we threw up in terms of the pacing, the 3.9 three-pointers per game, and he would hit this in, his age 39 season, that's based on him playing 82 games a year. If he plays 70 games a year, which is still a big, healthy number, it's going to take 3.5 seasons at the current pace, which again is a pace based on what he's done throughout his career in his prime. Mind you, we're talking about the end of his career, maintaining one of the most ridiculous paces that we've ever seen for a three-point shooter in NBA history, while playing 70 games per season. That would take you into his age 40 season and put you at about 40. Given the risk of injuries, given the risk of, hey, maybe I've achieved all there is to achieve and I want to walk away early, enjoy time with my family, try to join the PGA Tour, which is a joke, but you know he loves to golf. I'd be more inclined, Big Daddy, to go on the under in this one just because of how much is going to need to go right in order to get another 1,000 three-pointers.
Wait, who's Big Daddy?
That would be Spears, but it could also be Stephen A. You throw it out there and you see him fight over it. That's the key.
Whoa.
Introduce a little chaos to the establishment.
This is just a lot for me right now.
Analyst Marcus Spears offers a different angle. It's about Golden State positioning him. Draymond, Jimmy Butler, and others facilitate his space. He doubts Curry can sustain 5-mile nightly runs until 40. It's about the players around him creating opportunities. Spears notes playoff threes count, citing Curry's 357 made threes in 74 games last season. A healthy Klay Thompson or another shooter changes the tone, he argued. The Warriors' roster evolution will dictate Curry's workload and shot volume as he ages.
I'm about half the size of Swag Goose, so you give it to him.
Yeah,
give it to him.
You are. There's nothing Big Daddy about you.
Okay.
Let me say
Can
this.
we stop saying the word daddy, please?
Okay, yeah, you're right, Molly. We need to get rid of that one for the show. All right,
Thank
we'll remove that. What they say in court, Stephen A. Remove that from the record.
Yeah. No daddy, no zaddy, whatever the terms are, please.
Daddy, continue.
I know, right? I know. Let me say this, because you both hit the caveat of obviously health and volume. Like, as long as Steph Curry is in the NBA, he's gonna be a volume shooter. So I'm not worried about him getting enough shots off. I don't care if he's 40. I don't care if he's in the 40th season. I think this is more about how Golden State positions him. I'm gonna take a different angle on this. Jimmy Butler coming over. Obviously, Draymond. How long will guys be there to help facilitate for Steph? Because we know at some point it's going to be more about the space that he has based on the other players that he's playing around. I don't think the pace of running around the court 5 miles a night until he's 40 years old is going to get him open.
Joe counters, a younger, healthy Klay would help, but 3 years from now, will Curry still be the alpha? He references Ray Allen's late career role reduction. Minutes will drop as he ages. Stephen A. interjects, he's averaging 11.2 3-point attempts per game. Second only to LaMelo Ball. Volume isn't the issue. The question is durability. If he plays 3 more years at this pace, he can do it. Curry's 42.4% career 3-point shooting, third all-time, supports this, though this season's dip below 40% hints at potential decline.
Outside of LeBron James, that's the anomaly at this point, which we can point to in the NBA. But I think it's going to be more about Golden State, the situations that he's in, and also what are they playing for? I got a question because I don't know this. We count playoff threes, right? We do. Those are a part of this discussion. So what if this team makes a couple more deep runs into the playoffs based on personnel that they gather? I think he hit 357 last year, if I'm not mistaken, Joe. And that was 74 games he played last season. So
Right.
Yeah, I think it's 350, maybe 347, 357, something like that. But if we look at how you create the longevity for Steph Curry, it's going to be about the organization and making sure people are still around him. I'll ask both of you this question. If we had a healthy Klay Thompson or another healthy three-point shooter that people had to worry about, would you have this issue about wondering if he would get the 5,000, or would you have a different tone? That's more for Fortenbaugh because he said, he out-betting guy, so he a numbers guy.
Host Steve Curran Open. Another milestone for the chef. Steph Curry hits 4,000 career threes. He recalls Curry breaking the all-time record at 2,974. Less than 3 years ago. He keeps himself in shape and rhythm. He'll make another 1,000 for sure, Curran predicts. At 37, Curry could reach 5,000 by his age 39 season in 2028, with James Harden trailing by over 800. Curry's current pace, 3.9 threes per game, and conditioning suggests it's possible, though age and health loom as variables.
A little bit. A little bit, but that person, Clay, would have to be a healthy version of Clay and a younger version of Clay. Because again, this is going to come down to what is your role going to be 3 years from now when you're projected to break this record? Are you still going to be the guy, to your point, Marcus Spears, where you can do 5 miles around the court at night, playing 35 minutes a night? We saw what happened with Ray Allen at the end of his career. As you get older, the role becomes a little bit more limited. Now, Steph's not showing any signs of slowing down right now, so there's no reason to assume that that's happening anytime soon. But what we're projecting and how we're talking about him getting to another 1,000 is based on the guy we see now and have seen in the past continuing on that path. That path is going to split at some point. The minutes are going to need to come down. And if Golden State is unable to contend at a serious level, do we see him playing 33, 35 minutes a night? Do we want him taking all those threes? Or at some point, are we going to have to turn it over to the younger generation and have him play, I don't want to say a supporting role, but less of the alpha role?
Analyst Stephen A. Smith joins, asserting he can reach 5,000, but it depends on health and endurance. He emphasizes Curry's off-ball movement. He's a nightmare to cover, the only player you must guard past half-court because he can pull up from 40. Smith calls him the greatest shooter God ever created, citing 4 championships and 2 MVPs. He took 3 seasons to go from 3,000 to 4,000. Can he keep moving like that until 40? Curry's impact on the game's evolution places him in the GOAT conversation, though health remains the linchpin.
He's averaging 11.2 three-point attempts per game, second only to LaMelo Ball in the entire league. The question is, A, can he stay healthy enough to play and launch that many shots per game over the next 3 to 3.5 years? We don't know the answer to that question. Do I believe he can if he really, really wants to? Sure. But this brother has accomplished a lot in life, and you never know when he might deem it time to just walk away. And it might be inside the next 3 years. We just don't know that at this moment in time. He's got 2 years left on his deal. My point is, if he plays the next 3.5 years, next 3 years or so, and he's averaging 11.2 3-point shots per game in that span, I believe he can do it. Because I believe, like right now, he's shooting a tad under 40% from 3, but for his career, he has shot, I believe, 42.3%, 42.4% from 3-point range, which is third all time for anybody who's attempted at least 2,500 or more attempts from 3-point range. So I'm looking at him and I'm saying, accuracy-wise, this is actually a down year compared to what this brother has done and can do. And I'm willing to bet that he could do it if he's around. If he's around.